When I first came across Locomoto, I wasn't sure what to expect. But it is launching today, and I've played the entire first area, which is around 7 hours of gameplay, so I'm going to be running you through everything I liked and didn't like about it. Also, hi! If you're new here, I'm Ellie, and this is the Cozy Gaming Club, where we love to talk about all the latest and greatest cozy games. Play as the conductor of a train in this new live sim, where you'll find yourself ferrying passengers and mail from stop to stop along your route. But in between your role as a conductor, you'll also need to come up with a plan to save your town, and there are several side quests to keep you busy too. Now, where do we start? How about at the beginning with character customization? Locomoto is set in an animal world, and you are one of the many furry creatures who live there. But what I like about this game is that it doesn't limit you. Instead of needing to be a bear or a tiger or a dog, you can merge them all together to create your own hybrid creature that speaks to you. From changing the fur color to their ears and tail, there's a ton of customization here, and then you get to dress them up in the outfits of your choice. But the customization doesn't stop there, because you can also customize your train. Decorate both the interior and the exterior of your train, choosing between different paints and wallpapers, as well as different furniture types and colors. One of the things that really makes this part of the game stand out is that, depending on the materials you use to craft the furniture, it changes the appearance of it. So as well as there being different styles like academic or rustic, you can also change the colors within those styles. Plus, you can change the order of your carriages to rearrange your train to suit your playstyle. There's just a ton of customization options here. But we're not just here for decorating, let's talk about the plot. The overarching narrative adds a bit of direction to the game, along with the many side quests to keep your train chugging smoothly. Starting in your hometown of Pyre, you'll soon discover that things are not as cozy as they first appear, and your quest to save your town will take you all over the map. At each new destination, you'll find a quaint little settlement filled with a variety of characters, who each have their own friendship quests for you to complete if you want to. The emphasis on all of the side characters was a pleasant surprise, and they're all so cute. I love the character design of them, and it makes me so happy when my favourite characters come with me for a train journey. Although I do think they can be a little rude when you don't have a quest and you're just trying to talk to them. Like, why are you yelling at me, Nora? I just wanted to ask about your day. While I know this is a live sim, I wasn't sure how many live sim elements to expect, because it's a train live sim. But between skipping stones, finding flowers for a lover, and sabotaging science projects, there's a lot of fun subplots going on and plenty of character development found in the different towns. But with everyone travelling everywhere, it can be difficult to keep track of them all. Or so I thought. It actually took me almost 5 hours in-game before I spotted this tiny glyph at the top of the map screen. I'd been using the generic map, when you can actually switch between different maps to see where the villagers are, where you can collect resources, and more. This would have been so helpful earlier in my game, especially as quests often don't give enough information for you, in my opinion. I had one quest that said to visit someone's house to clean up their garden, but the only issue is that the quest didn't tell me where their house was. So be grateful I'm telling you this now so you don't make the same mistake. Speaking of resources, they are littered all over the place, so make sure to thoroughly search each new area for them. They can be hidden behind houses or on top of the shelters, and can be very easy to miss if you're not looking around carefully. But you'll get to the point where you can't find any more resources lying around, and that's where tokens come in. Tokens are a currency that you can collect in the game in a variety of ways. The easiest is by collecting rubbish. Every new location you arrive in will probably be dirty and need a little cleaning up. They are animals, after all. So armed with your bin bag, you can go around collecting all the half-eaten sandwiches and rusty tin cans and recycle them in these handy recycling bins by the train platforms. Completing 3 of each type, like paper or food waste, rewards you with 1 token. You can also earn tokens by delivering mail, or as a thanks for a successful journey from your passengers, or by giving them food on your journey. Also, a quick note on this, I was waiting for so long to unlock a coffee machine in my game because everyone kept asking for coffee. It turns out they want hot chocolate. Anyway, you'll rack up tokens really quickly, and what you want to do is keep an eye out for these machines that can be spotted on some platforms. They're also noted on the map too, so you can find them easily. Here you can trade in your tokens in return for resources, with each token type directly corresponding to the resource you can collect. So with a metal token, you can buy more ingots, for example. There are also certain areas like your hometown of Empire where you can regularly collect new resources from respawn spots. The only issue is that there are not always tools lying around for you to collect these resources, and you also can't carry tools over from different areas of the map. Sometimes you can find them by thinking a little outside of the box though, and you also have a tool storage in your train. However, at the start of the game, this is very limited, and it probably took me around an hour to even notice it was there. My train floor was so muddy at the start of the game, just covered in footprints because I couldn't work out how to clean them up. But by completing friendship quests, you'll occasionally unlock a new tool, although more often than not it'll be furniture blueprints or clothes. But that's not a bad reward either. The great thing about resources is that you can hoard them, and honestly they are stored in such a satisfying way. You can stack them on top of each other in one square on your carriage and create these massive towers of supplies. It probably wouldn't pass health and safety, but it's my train and no one needs to know. There are a lot of things you can collect in this game and a lot of side quests tied to them, like finding paint to decorate the town and your train, and flowers and train carriages and more. You'll be needing a lot of storage as you ferry things back and forth. While we're talking about quests, I also wanted to point to one thing that bugged me a little bit. Even if you have the items in your inventory, which is tiny by the way, the villagers won't comment on them unless you have them selected in the inventory bar. This led to a couple of confusing moments for me where someone kept telling me to get lost when I had the item they wanted, and I couldn't work out what I was doing wrong. Some of the other things I didn't like about this game is that the train journeys felt a little boring, to be honest. The passengers weren't really spread out well, so sometimes you'd have no one on your train for multiple legs of the journey, while one time I had to build 3 extra chairs because suddenly I had 6 passengers at once. Even on the busier routes, it can just be dead time while you're waiting to move from stop to stop. Some of your customers may ask for refreshments, although I've found this happen very rarely, and after your first hour and so in the game, your crafting table becomes a bit redundant because it's not big enough to craft the nicer items, so you can't even spend your journey crafting. Although, having said that, I don't really think happiness or comfort has an impact on your passengers, or at least not a big enough one for me to notice, so you could probably sit them all in the dingy chairs if you wanted to. The result is that you spend a lot of your journeys just standing around waiting to get to the next station. Also, when it comes to coal, you're warned right at the beginning of the game not to let your engine get into the red zone. But I ended up in this zone so many times in my playthrough, and there were no real consequences for it, so don't worry about that. Lastly, Locomoto has surprisingly few bugs. Besides a couple of floating sandwiches, the only real issue I encountered was the doctor character not meeting me at someone's house. But other than that, the game runs smoothly without major technical problems. I played a good couple of hours of it on my Steam Deck as well without any issues, although the battery life only lasted around an hour and a half on my old LCD. Locomoto isn't your typical life sim, and probably isn't for you if you were looking for your next game like The Sims. But that's not to take away from the fact that it's a very fun game, and I played nearly 7 hours of it this week alone. Plus, just when I was about to unfinish, I unlocked a completely new area with a magical twist. So there's a lot more content here than I was expecting. Overall, I've laid out everything I liked and didn't like about this game, and I hope that helps you to decide if it's the game for you. Let me know down in the comments if you're going to be picking this one up, and I hope to see you next video. Bye!